Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Onos and today we're starting a series called Games to Watch. These will be some titles that have caught my attention and I'm hoping will become great when they're released. Today we're taking a look at the upcoming release of Necromunda Underhive Wars. This was originally announced at E3 in 2018 and there has been some speculation as to whether the game would even be coming out or if it had been cancelled. A new teaser trailer was released last week, which I'll show you now, and then we can talk about some of the game details that I know about. Here we go.
The hive cities of Necromunda. Untold billions crammed within mountains of metal. Vast insect mounds of tireless industry amid the toxic waste of their own manufacture. Inside the hive cities, every breath of air, every drop of water is recycled 1,000,000 times over. Every watt of power and each mouthful of food must be guarded against rival clans and outlaws. It is a place where only the strong can endure and no one prospers. Except, of course, those at the very top. And yet, opportunity still exists. For the gang bold enough to take it. In the foundation layers of the Underhive, all manner of treasures can still be found. Lost, forgotten, or abandoned in the dark. The only question is, who will get there first?
So the game is set in the Warhammer 40k universe, but takes place away from the traditional Space Marines war. Necromunda is based on the dregs of society left living beneath the massive hive worlds, fighting for scraps and territory. The release of the game will be for both PC and current gen consoles and is set to be summer 2020, which is actually right around the corner. The game will be turn-based as you might expect, and will include a 15-mission single-player campaign, and both single-player versus AI, and several multiplayer modes. The multiplayer will allow for huge 4-player battles, and will also include co-op options. Now originally Necromunda was a tabletop Warhammer game released in 1995, which I actually played myself at the age of 15. The reason I loved it so much was due to the development of your gang. You would pick a gang and through skirmishes and battles would pick up new abilities and level up. You would even pick up injuries or modifications which would impact your next game. Unlike other Warhammer games where you may have a standalone battle with your army, in Necromunda your gang would develop and evolve over time. It was the persistent world element that I love so much. The game will be class based and include specialities for melee, sniping, saboteurs and heavy weapons. The developers have promised an elaborate gear system which will include different types of armour, weapons and other equipment to customise your gang with. There will also be a ton of cosmetics for your gang to make them your own. Necromunda Underhive Wars will launch with 3 playable factions to choose from initially. House Goliath, who as I remember were melee focused brutes, House Escher, which is the all-female gang, and House Orlok, who were the more well-rounded jack-of-all-trades gang, as I remember it anyway. So far there has been no mention of the many other gangs in the original game, such as Van Saar or Cawdor for example, but I believe they will be released in time. The game feels like it has a lot of potential and scalability. There are said to be 26 maps available to play at release, each of which have been handmade by the design team. The maps in Necromunda always focused on verticality, so I would expect to be fighting across many levels with the scope to ambush your enemies with well thought out strategies, from above or below. Necromunda Underhive Wars is inspired by the original tabletop game, but the developers have stressed in interviews that this is not a reskin of any previous games or a direct port from the original tabletop version. I'll be keeping an eye on this game as we get closer to a final release date. I'll also be on the lookout for gameplay videos too as they become available. The Warhammer universe is huge and Necromunda was one of my favourite aspects of the universe in years gone by. I believe the scope and potential for this game could be incredible if it's done right. Time will tell. Thank you for joining me. See you for the next one. Take care. Bye bye now.